now faces the challenge of unifying her party, stabilizing the economy, and managing coalition demands. Her domestic agenda includes tax cuts, spending to ease inflation, and controversial stances on social issues, as well as Yasukuni shrine visits. Despite criticism from feminists and opposition groups, her rise is seen as a milestone for Japanese women. Takaichi inherits a party marred by scandals, tasked with rebuilding public trust while navigating domestic and international challenges. Now for this discussion, we welcome Professor Stephen Nagi. He's a professor at International Christian University, joins us live from Tokyo. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, what impact could this news of appointment of Japan's first female finance minister, as well as Japan's first female prime minister, have on gender representation and have effects on Japanese politics?
Well, Takaichi Sanae, as the first female prime minister of Japan, and having worked up through the ageist and male-dominated Liberal Democratic Party, wants to demonstrate that women can lead, and she is appointing into prominent ministries women, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Economy and Security, and we're likely to see other appointments. This is meant to send a message that women can do anything in Japan, but it's not the kind of diversity and inclusion, equality and inclusion messages that I think we've seen in other countries. She's determined to have a Japanese interpretation of gender equality, which again has a strong male-female definition with the family at the center, but to build a society in which women can break the glass ceiling and be top leaders, shaping the country's trajectory, its development, and its relations moving forward.
Right, and but we also know that she will be facing a lot of challenges, including LDP's reputation. How do you think, how will she navigate through all this?
This is, I think, her strength as an individual, as a prime minister, is that, again, she's worked her way through the party. Ordinary Japanese and LDP members understand the challenges associated with the LDP, and she's demonstrated that through hard work and avoiding corruption that you can get to the top. I think that she's going to change the tone. It's going to be more difficult to do those backroom deals that I think a male-dominated Japanese society is accustomed to. And this may bring more transparency, more accountability, and I think better policy in many ways. The time will test, and we'll see what kind of results she has. But she's coming up to an important meeting with President Trump as he visits Tokyo. She'll visit APEC and again have a chance to engage with President Trump again, the new President Lee from South Korea, and of course President Xi. This is all wonderful opportunities for her to demonstrate her foreign policy chops, that she's interested in strengthening bilateral relations with the United States, ensuring that the U.S.-Japan alliance is the cornerstone to Japan's security. But I think she's also going to focus on other key partners, India, and building stronger partnerships with India, Southeast Asia, and to continue to engage in China while focusing on resilience and deterrence to deal with the realities of authoritarian assertive behavior in the Indo-Pacific.
Yes, or building on your answer, I wanna see your stance on China, and how she is known to be very hardcore against China. So how might this Prime Minister Takaichi's critical stance on China influence Japan's foreign policy moving forward, as well as regional stability in that area?
Well, listen, I don't think Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae is a hardline or a hawk on China. She's realistic about the China challenge. That means looking at the increase in defense, our military budget by the Chinese year on year, almost 10% for the past 25 years. She looked at the September 3rd so-called peace parade in Beijing with the display of the arms that are really targeting Japan and South Korea and United States bases within the region. And she's seen the assertive behavior of China throughout the region. She is not a hawk. She's realistic about the challenges of China's rise and what it means in terms of where China's moving going forward and what's the best way to deal with that. And it goes back to the formula that I think that was first established by the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, that you must engage with China. It's the biggest economy in the region, but you must have a resilient economy where you diversify your supply chains away from China. And lastly, you have to have strong deterrence. And that means that incredibly important partnership with the US and building new partners in Southeast Asia, Australia, Canada, and of course, India.
Yes, and now looking back at the influence that, late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has on these two individuals, how do you see that they will carry Abenomics or his stance on many policies moving forward?
So in private, I think the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was a conservative. He was a very much pro-Japan, so perhaps the first leader that was a make Japan great again kind of leader, but he was also extremely pragmatic. Despite the tensions over the Senkaku Islands, which were nationalized by the Democratic Party of Japan back in 2012, he tried to stabilize the relationship with China and eventually tried to agree to 55 infrastructure projects in third countries with Xi Jinping. This pragmatism was a key feature of his diplomacy, but at the same time, he was realistic about China's rise, the importance of the United States in terms of Japan's security, and the importance of creating a multipolar Indo-Pacific region by investing in India, by investing in Southeast Asia, and building a layered approach to security, which includes trade agreements, the quadrilateral security dialogue, reciprocal access agreements with Australia, and subsequently the Philippines and the UK, and at the same time attempting to try and engage with the leadership that we can't change, but we have to find ways to shape its external environment to eventually shape its behavior.
Thank you very much, Professor Stephen Nagy, for joining us and sharing that insight from Japan. Now we move on to Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced that